Peace, everybody. I kind of messed up earlier. I didn't press record. But the purpose of this video today is I want people to realize that we are not intelligent people. Black people are not intelligent people. Intelligence isn't what you know, because black people are really smart people. We know everything. We know the calendar, the Mayan calendar. We know the Native Americans, the ancient Egyptian culture, the Moors. We know about Christianity, Jesus, Easter. We have abundance of knowledge, but that's not intelligence. Intelligence isn't knowledge, it's action. Because we know the ancient Egyptians were intelligent because they left structures, information. They had to do activity in order to make these structures. They had to build. That's how we know they were intelligent. We can't just look at their minds because they're not alive right now. You know, knowledge exists inside the mind. The mind has to correspond with the hand. And the hand has to bring in the thing that the mind thought of into existence. That's intelligence. For an example, not necessarily an example of that, I'm going to bring an example about how knowledge and intelligence aren't the same thing. Knowledge is being aware of something and knowing something. Like, I know for a fact that a lion is a dangerous creature capable of massive destruction to the human flesh. And if I see a lion walking right there, what am I going to do? That's intelligence. Your action, your response to your knowledge in a situation in which the knowledge is met face to face with you, requiring you, mandating action. What are you going to do? You got to have a defense mechanism to prevent yourself from being annihilated from this lion. A fool will walk up to the lion and just look it down, stare at it. See what I'm saying? Because this fool is not practicing proper intelligence. This is a stupid person. Now, the reason I'm bringing this article up, this issue about not being intelligent, is intelligence is a choice. We think it's not, but it is. Because intelligence is based on the things that we do know. We know that we need buildings and houses. We need businesses. We need schools. We need farms. We need industry participation, or we need our own separate industry. That's what the black people know. Intelligence requires and mandates that you do that. You go build the businesses or open the businesses to provide these services and products to the people that need them. But an unintelligent person will not do that. They will sit back and hope and plead with another group of people to do that. Usually the oppressive group of people. Because they don't really have a collective memory. They choose to forget Jim Crow, slavery, oppression, lynching, sundown, blowing up our cities. They forget that these people have been trying to annihilate the black people for centuries. And yet you forget that and you want to walk out there and ask this person to build you an institution. Now, this is a perfect example of intelligence, right? If you meet a person for the first time, and they look at you and they reach their hand out to shake your hand, you reach your hand out to shake that person's hand. And if this person punch you in the mouth, still on you, and this person, you looking at this person could be bigger than you. You know, you in a situation, what are you going to do in that situation when the person punch you in the mouth? You could either fight the person, try to destroy this person. You could run from the person. You could call the police on the person. Whatever you react to that situation. You know this person is your enemy. Now, if you see this person again, what are you going to do? Are you going to avoid this person? Are you going to try to get revenge on this person? Or are you going to try to reach your hand out and shake that person's hand And if this person come to you and pretend that they don't know that they just punch you in your mouth and reach their hand out to you to shake your hand, are you going to reach your hand out and try to shake that person's hand? If you do, you are a fool. You are not intelligent. But that's what the so-called black people are doing with all of these hostile groups of people in America. The Caucasians are hostile. The Asians are hostile. The Mexicans, the Irish, they have historically punched us in the mouth over and over and over. The Democrats, over and over again. You keep reaching your hand out to shake these people's hand, and they're going to keep punching your teeth out. And you come back the next day to reach your hand out. Every time you see this person, you run up on them to shake their hand, and they're going to keep punching you in the face. You are not intelligent. Intelligence mandates and dictates that you neutralize this threat. This person is a threat, a danger to the community. This person must be apprehended. This person must be judged for that activity, that dangerous activity of inflicting violence upon you. This is called assault and battery with intent. But you keep reaching your hand out to shake their hand, pleading with this person. They do not want to be your friend. Eventually, they're going to say you get tired of punching in your face and just put you in a chain and make you serve them, which you deserve to serve them because you are a fool. You don't use your mind. We have a memory to remember good and bad things, all things we remember. And we adjust and behave based on those situations. We identify things that are friendly, things that are hostile, things that are good, things that are bad. And we put them in a proper category and we react to these things accordingly. You don't eat something that you know is poisonous. That is not to be eaten. You only eat things that are good to be eaten. But an unintelligent person will eat something that is poisonous. They will conduct activity that is detrimental because they don't use logic, knowledge, history, and they don't make the proper decision. You see, what I'm talking about is autonomy, group autonomy. Now, Kanye West, the artist, said slavery was a choice, and people was angry at him, but it actually is a choice. Everything that you do, you have to acquiesce, because you could choose not to do whatever it is that you're doing. You could choose not to do it. Regardless of the consequences of inflicting pain, suffering, you still at the end of the day have to choose what you're doing. You choose to reach your hand out to the Democrats, to the so-called illegal immigrants, to the so-called Asians, the Caucasians, the Africans, all of these groups of people who just continuously beat you in the face. You don't treat them accordingly. The best thing to do with these particular groups of people who are hostile to you is to avoid them altogether. If you can't avoid them, you must annihilate them. That's it. 2 choices. But us, black people, we give them money, support, jobs, businesses. We allow them to open up institutions in our community, rape and rob the community of all of the resources, and then disrespect you. That's unintelligent. And you refuse to take responsibility because autonomy requires responsibility. Because if you're an autonomous person, you have to make sure everything that you need done has to be done by you. It sound hard. If you need food, you got to go get a plot of land, plant the seeds, cultivate the seeds, distribute the food to the people. If you need water, you have to dig the well, or you got to go to the lake and figure out a mechanism to pump the water to the people. If you need buildings or houses, you have to get the materials, cut the trees, you have to burn the bricks, get the mortar, transport these things. Like, you're responsible for everything that you need with autonomy. But the plus side is you are free. All of that wealth that you spend now, giving it to somebody else, that would be harvested and preserved. You will be extremely wealthy, free, and you will be able to determine the nutrition, the education. You will be able to determine the destiny of yourself and the people. Basic, right? Health-wise, economically, spiritually, whatever. That's what autonomy, brings about. Freedom and sovereignty. But it requires you to do the work, the action. And that requires intelligence. An unautonomous person is not intelligent. They're not. It doesn't require you to be intelligent. But to be autonomous, it requires intelligence because it requires constant action to situations, decisions. How are we going to get this food? What land are we going to get? Are we going to purchase the land? Are we going to take the land? Are we going to negotiate to get the land? But we need the land, and we got to grow this material. Who's going to be responsible for farming, for manufacturing? Who's going to be responsible for the industries, the governance? People have to be responsible for these things if you're autonomous and if you're intelligent, And a person could be intelligent as an individual, but we are judged as a group. And it's really, it takes a group of people to be autonomous. It takes a group of people to actually have intelligence, really. If the masses of people are unintelligent, dumb slaves, getting their faces beat in, it's hopeless. And intelligence is easy. You just have to choose what you're going to do, and you have to do it. If you want to get into business, real estate, you have to figure out, how am I going to get these buildings? How am I going to get the buildings in livable condition if they need to be livable condition? How am I going to get the financing? And then you got to do it. Simple as that. That's intelligence. It doesn't require a master's degree, a doctorate degree. Action doesn't require anything. All animals are intelligent because all they do is do. You don't know what the animals are thinking, but you know they have a plan. You know the birds are going to fly south every year. You know they're going to have a nest. You know the dogs, the deers, they go to the forest. They defend their life, they self, their territory. They know how to flee from danger. They know the predators. They know what to avoid. They know how to survive without the help of the white man. The black people can't say that.